Hey, welcome to this week's Horror Debate. I'm Jeff Rowdy J. Keir, and with me is Michael Mandy.
And this week we're going to be reviewing John Carpenter's remake of The Thing from 1982.
It holds up well, doesn't it?
Very well, very well. God, you know what? In another review you said, I love this movie, and I said, really? And you said, well, okay, I liked it a lot. I love this movie.
Yeah,
I love this movie.
Well, I just revisited it on HD DVD, one of my first HD DVDs, and, you would think that an old movie like this, with the added definition of the high def, that you see a whole lot of seams in the special effects, and you really don't. You really don't.
This was definitely before computers. When I watched the Kurt Russell playing chess, that's high-tech computer graphics right there.
I noticed that. Then he threw his coffee in the computer, man. I cracked up. I forgot about that.
Dude, that was JB.
Oh, was it JB?
It was bourbon coffee.
Okay. Well, run it down for us, Mike. What's the plot?
Plot of this film is basically a bunch of men United States outpost, a research outpost in Antarctica. They basically, someone from a Norwegian outpost a few miles away is chasing down a dog in a helicopter. The dog's not in the helicopter, the dog's on the ground. The Norwegians are in the helicopter. Thought I'd clarify that.
That was good, yeah.
And basically the dog runs to the Americans for help, and the Norwegians want the dog for some reason, and then they have to find out why, and then they find out something bad happened at the Norwegian place. They find it. Plot is, it's kind of almost like Alien, or Whodunit. It's all harkens back to Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indians. Which one is the murderer?
I watched this with my family, and you talked about the dog.
Family
good family flick. Yeah,
good family
no,
film.
but you talk about the dog, and we all cracked up because I used to have a dog that did the same thing. He would just keep running, and at the beginning of the movie,
I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, he attacked the family."
No, and all the kids, they cracked up at the beginning because they said, "Dad, that looks like you in the helicopter chasing the old dog."
Shut up! Stop barking!
Trying to stop it any way possible, man. So
I tell you, the one thing though I just couldn't get over. Kurt Russell is cool. I mean, he is. He was cool in Escape from New York. He was cool in this. Cool in Big Trouble. Kurt Russell to me is just a cool guy. But what is with that ridiculous cowboy hat he was wearing?
I loved that hat.
You loved it?
No, I love the hat. I got to laugh every time he put it on. It made him like 5 feet taller, dude. It was great.
Yeah. It was all sideways. It was like Haas. I expected Haas to come running out.
My wife mentioned that first. She goes, "Look at that hat." I said, "That is awesome. I'd wear it."
I wouldn't. I'd be embarrassed. I thought but with the beard and the long hair, Kurt, man, you look good. Even with the goofy cowboy hat,
I thought he was the thing. I thought he was the one they were talking about.
No, I think the hat was the thing.
I don't know.
But attached to his head.
It definitely
took the appearance of a bad hat.
No, but Kurt played it cool, man. It was very effective character, man. I mean,
C.J. McCready.
Absolutely.
What a cool name.
Yeah. And the guy who does all the AARP commercials.
Wilford Brimley without his mustache.
Yeah, I noticed that. Clean shaven. I knew the voice. I knew the voice. I thought he was going to try to sell me something. I knew the voice. But no, absolutely. This movie is like I said, holds up to today's standards today. I mean, really, I don't know if that made any sense, but holds up.
I'm glad it holds up to today's standards today. You don't want it to hold up to today's standards yesterday.
Visually, some scenes you're going to look at and go, "Oh, yeah, okay, I can tell that was done in the 80s." But quite honestly, I mean, seamless. It really is seamless.
It had a budget of $14 million, which I think was John Carpenter's biggest budget ever. Yep. And they did a lot of great special effect work in it.
Yeah.
Great props going out to Rob Bottin, who worked himself to exhaustion, so they had to call in, he studied under Rick Baker, Rob Bottin, and he called in Stan Winston. Thank you. Yeah, to come finish the job. But another great thing about this movie is they knew it was a John Carpenter film. Surprisingly enough, though, John Carpenter did not do the soundtrack to it. But when that movie starts out, and you just hear that, bum, bum.
Right.
Bum, bum.
That was my subwoofer test. It worked great.
Most people, I bet, swear that's a John Carpenter thing.
Right.
Because it sounds so much like The Fog or Halloween or Escape from New York. But it's not.
Yep.
And but the thing also I liked about it, isn't it amazing how so simple of a musical theme. Same with Halloween. That's a simple little tune, but you don't need this big giant lush score or even nowadays all these diddle loud. Just that little boom.
In all of John Carpenter's movies that I can think of off the top of my head, it's the same theme. Very simplistic yet very effective.
Very effective. Yeah. You don't need all this mindless. Just the two, and not only that, it kind of sounds like a heartbeat if you think about it.
Boom boom. Yeah. Boom boom. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's right there. You can tell The mood of this film has been set. We're not going to see a bunch of people running through flowers, like one of them Summer's Eve commercials. This is film that not good stuff is going to happen.
Right. You would love it even more on HD DVD, but man, this is not just Dolby Digital now. This is Dolby Digital Plus. This is the big dog, and it sounded absolutely fantastic. I think with most of the HD DVDs going into the technical specs of the movie, or the disc itself is just kind of like mindless because they all look absolutely pristine.
Another thing I loved about this film, because those of you who know me and know what I like and things like that know that I'm all into the mood and the feel of the film. Okay, there's a guy with a hockey mask walking down. Okay, great, but just the mood. And this movie gives you that isolation feel, especially with the wind howling constantly in the background. There's no women in this movie. The only female you will see is when they're watching a video of Let's Make a Deal.
That's right.
And the voice of the computer, the chess computer that he's playing, is Adrienne Barbeau. Trivia. Little trivia there for you.
That's right.
This is John Carpenter at the time of the movie.
All right, Mike, so if you had to rate this thing, man.
Easy, 4 out of 5. Easy.
I'm right there with you, 4 out of 5. I think the only reason it doesn't get a 5 out of 5, just kind of the age, and just like I said, there's certain things about it that make it look very, very old, but story-wise, most of the effects, everything holds up to
Definitely.
today.
I love this film.
Yeah.
And it made a good video game, too.
It did. The Xbox, we have that. Yes. Of course we have that. So, 4 out of 5, definitely, no doubt about it.
Check it out. Kurt Russell is cool.
Check it out on HD DVD if you can, man.
All right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll see you next time at the Horror Debate.